Thanks, Reese, and welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Geico. Top spot in the Sun Belt East is up for grabs today. The four-time defending champs from Appalachian State, rare underdogs, facing the upstart Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina, number 15 in the country, and ready for the biggest game in their history. Coastal 7-0, 5-0 in the Sun Belt, App State 4-0 in the league. And the winner all but locks up the Sun Belt East. Louisiana won the West last week. Clay Matvick, Dustin Fox, Marty Smith ready to go here in Conway. We're looking at Zach Thomas. This is going to be a great quarterback matchup today, Dustin.
Yeah, both of these guys are terrific. We know about Zach Thomas, 29-4 as a starter in Boone. But the young quarterback here that will probably steal the headlines, Grayson McCall, the redshirt freshman quarterback for the Chanticleers, is having himself a season, 16 touchdowns, and the only one interception. Very efficient. He runs this offense to a T.
Probably the biggest reason for Coastal's success this year, that young man. Coastal has never beaten App State, 0-6 all time. They know to be the man, they've got to beat the man, to steal a Ric Flair saying. And that's what Coastal is trying to do today.
It's something we'll talk about as we go throughout this game, Clay, is the chip on the shoulders of the players and coaches at App State. This is rare. They're never an underdog in conference play, and they are today. And Coastal Carolina, not to take anything away from what they've done, but App State feels like they're the better team. We'll find out in about 3 hours.
Appalachian State won the toss. They want to get it in the hands of their veteran quarterback right away. They're going to receive.
And the offense a week ago did not play particularly well against Georgia State. We'll talk about it as we go. The offensive line needs to play better. And frankly, Zach Thomas has to play better.
Massimo Biscardi has it on the tee. Stephen Jones, Malik Williams back deep to return for Appalachian State. This is Jones. Good return, finds a little seam and busts just across the 30-yard line. Let's go back to last week, fourth quarter against Georgia State. Zach Thomas taking a shot along the sideline, and he was taken by ambulance to the hospital. They looked at his neck. He checked out okay. He was released that night. And Sean Clark, the head coach, said he had a great week of practice and he is a full go to go today, Dustin.
And thankfully for him, everything's okay. He's a huge part of this offense, not just with his arm, but he's a dual threat quarterback. He's got the entire playbook at his disposal this afternoon.
A lot of injuries at running back for App State. We'll talk about that in a moment as they start going to the air with Jalen Virgil, the trusted senior receiver. He's going to pick up 5 on first down.
It's a nice little easy throw for Zach Thomas to start this game. Get the ball on the perimeter. Take a look at what Zach Thomas has been able to do this season. Very efficient. He does have those 5 interceptions. They want to cut those down significantly.
Daetrick Harrington, their top running back, is out with a knee. No Marcus Williams today. He's nursing an ankle injury. This is Cameron Peoples, who's going to be doing most of the heavy lifting today, and he's already into plus territory. He could go. No, he is caught at the 15-yard line. Cameron Peoples, the sophomore, almost took it to the house.
This is an unbelievable job by the offensive line. Number 70, Cooper Hodges, is back starting this week at right tackle, and he does a terrific job kicking out and allowing Cam Peoples to gain the big, nearly a house call.
This is the number 10 rushing offense in the country. They go back to the outside, and they get it inside the 10 with Virgil again. 261 yards per game on the ground. They only had 131 last week against Georgia State. The running game was not good last week, but so far so good.
Yeah, the running attack is really what App State hangs their hat on, and they were shut down last week. I thought it was interesting, the game plan from Georgia State, they packed the box. They had 8-9 guys. Their safeties were playing 7-8 yards deep.
They keep it on the ground. Peoples again trying to spin out of a tackle. And that black swarm defense of Coastal wraps him up at about the 6-yard line. That tackle made by Alex Spillum, the strong safety. So now a 3rd down.
It's a big spot. This is where Zach Thomas can be dangerous. They love to give him options where he can either throw it on the outside or also run it.
Their whole playbook is open right here, I would think, on 3rd and 1 at the 6.
Look at the formation. A heavy formation with 2 tight ends.
They stick it in the breadbasket of Peoples again, and he got the 1st down. Again, Daetrick Harrington injured his knee 2 weeks ago. He's out indefinitely. Harrington was the leading Sun Belt rusher in touchdowns, yards per game when he got hurt. Peoples is the guy that they're going to need today. And now we've got a timeout to look at an injured Chanticleer. It is Teddy Gallagher, the middle linebacker, the senior from Los Angeles, who means so much to this defense.
Goodness. He is kind of the heart and soul of this defense. Him and, of course, Silas Kelly, the 2 middle backers. It just looked like he came in and made a standard tackle, but looks like he's grabbing for his arm.
I think somebody stepped on him as they were getting off the pile. It looks like he's going to be all right.
That's good news. That's huge news for Coastal Carolina. You can't lose one of your star Mike backers. Of course, he has the mullet cut going here.
A lot of mullets. A lot of bad haircuts Carolina on this team, that's for sure.
They would not call them bad haircuts, Clay.
No, they wouldn't. Well, this is a defense that hasn't allowed a touchdown in the last 10 quarters and only 6 total points over that span. And here's Appalachian State on its opening series right on the doorstep.
You know, both defenses between App State and Coastal Carolina come in this game respectively number 1, number 2 in the conference. But something's got to give.
Peoples behind Thomas, and it is Cameron Peoples lowering his head, and he gets it to the 1. 2nd down and goal to go.
Clay, this is one of those areas on the field where the offensive line really needs to bow up. Look at the push on the right side. Nearly gets in. Great job by Spillum coming from the backside.
That time, Coastal Carolina's defense makes the stop, and they come up with the football. It's Spillum going back the other way. A red zone stop and what looks like a fumble recovery for the Chanticleers. Now was his forward progress stopped? Well, I think that ball's out.
I think it's out too. The question is, Clay, he reached it out near the goal line. If the tip of that football crosses, that would be a touchdown. If not, this is going to be a fumble and a huge turn of events for Coastal Carolina and App State. What a great job by Enoch. Macanzo coming off the outside right there. It's a blitz. It's a run blitz from the left side, and he's the guy that gets there first. And then Johnny on the spot is Alex Spillum. But it was all made by Enoch coming from his spur linebacker spot right there, gets in the backfield, and a really good job of effort. But you got to be careful when you're a running back. If you don't know for sure you can get that ball across, it's a very dangerous play.
So the ruling on the field was that the ball carrier was down.
He didn't look down to me.
There's got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. Boy, it sure looked like that ball was loose.
It looked to me like Enoch was coming in there. Enoch Macanzo coming in there, and as he wrapped him up, his knees were being almost held up from going to the ground. But his knees are up right there. The ball goes out, it reaches out, the knees are not on the ground. Not on the ground. Boy, that's a tough call.
Andy Vervillis is the replay official here in Conway today. Our head referee is Trennis Livingston. trying to get this ironed out in such a big game in the Sun Belt East. Said it before, Dustin, I don't think it's an overstatement that this is the biggest game in Coastal Carolina's football history.
Oh, there's no question. And they've only been FBS since 2017. The highest they've been ranked, currently number 15 in the country. And this will decide the East, the Sun Belt East, I believe. And certainly Coastal Carolina has hopes and aspirations for the first bowl victory and a chance to maybe go undefeated.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Wow.
The runner was down at the half-yard line.
Wow.
It'll be third down.
So that's a big call early in this game.
One more look. They ruled that Cameron Peoples was down before that ball came out. And so the fumble recovery by Spillum is wiped out. An early break for Coastal is wiped out. And Appalachian State has a third down and goal coming up at the half-yard line. And Thomas is going to go under center for the first time. Deep handoff. And that's a touchdown for Appalachian State. Cameron Peoples finishes off the drive, and he is probably breathing the deepest sigh of relief.
Not just him, but I think everybody on that App State offense, Clay, they were challenged this week. Coach Sean Clark said they kind of had a come-to-Jesus moment about the way they performed against Georgia State a week ago. It was not good. It was probably the offensive line's worst performance they've had all season. And they bowed up on this drive. That is a huge start for the Mountaineers.
This is Chandler Staten coming on for the extra point. And he hits it home to make it 7-0 Appalachian State.
Coach Clark talked about it. They got to bow up. They got to play like men. The offensive line. And Cam Peoples got it done on the opening drive.
Welcome back, everyone, to College Football Saturday on ESPN here in Conway, South Carolina. Appalachian State scores on its first drive. They're up 7-0 over Coastal Carolina. On that opening drive, down near the goal line, Appalachian State running. Coastal Carolina linebacker Teddy Gallagher was injured there at the goal line, and the team tells me at this moment he has an upper body injury and is questionable to return.
All right, Marty, thank you very much. It is a fair catch for Coastal. They'll start at the 25 right after this quick studio check-in with Matt.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Happy College Football Saturday. Time now for your Rocket Mortgage Studio update. Want to remind the viewers, if you were planning to see Florida Vanderbilt here, it's moved over to ABC, and Vandy up early on the Gators. How about that? It didn't take long for the Buckeyes against Indiana. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, touchdown. 7-0 Ohio State early.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. There's our quarterback, Grayson McCall, for Coastal Carolina. Know you like him.
I love him. He runs this offense perfectly. In fact, ran the same offense in high school.
Couple of pump fakes. He's going to go deep down the middle of the field. He has a man. It's Isaiah Likely. Shakes loose. Goodbye. Touchdown. On the first play from scrimmage for Coastal, Grayson McCall strikes for the Chanticleers.
Well, we knew coming into the game, Isaiah Likely a big-time target for Coastal Carolina, but he's battling an injury. So they want to get their shots in early. Clay, they take the shot on the very first play of the game, and he was double covered, by the way. Wow.
75 yards. As Biscardi misses the extra point. But here is the big play, 75 yards to Likely, and you mentioned he's not 100% on that ankle, maybe 80% at best, but he looks pretty nimble here.
In both Trey Cobb, their linebacker, and 21 Huff, they've got him bracketed. That just can't happen. Terrific concentration, but a better throw for Grayson McCall.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And in part by Duluth Trading Company. Tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen.
Already a ton of excitement here at Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina. Each team with a touchdown. Grayson McCall with his 17th touchdown pass of the year for the Chanticleers. As App State will get it back. This return by Stephen Jones. He takes a whack at the 21. And Zach Thomas will bring the Mountaineers offense out as we've got another penalty flag. How about the moxie of that kid?
On the very first snap? Incredible.
Blocking it back on the receiving team, number 33. Half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10.
You may wonder how likely got so open. Watch McCall on this play. He's going to get the snap. He's going to pump fake it and look off to his right. That's going to allow the safeties to bite up, and then he comes back to his left. Both safeties are behind, and Likely's in the house. Great play call, and terrific poise, really, by Grayson McCall.
Likely had a 72-yard touchdown reception earlier in the year against Arkansas State, so he best that with that catch. There's another hole right up the middle that Cameron Peoples is able to dive through. So far, this offensive line for Appalachian State looks pretty good.
Well, and part of the reason, Clay, I think that they're more confident this week, they've got the whole group back. You know, last weekend, Cole Garrison, who's their starting left tackle, he had to move over and play right tackle because Cooper Hodges was out. And of course, Anderson Hardy had to start at left tackle. It was shuffled all over, and the communication was just not where it needs to be.
There are no 300-pounders on that O-line, but a lot of experience. They've got 4 senior starters, second most experienced O-line in the country. They're going to use that O-line to run interference again for Peoples, and he's got a first down.
Well, I hope that Cameron Peoples had his Wheaties this morning because he's already got 8 carries 5 minutes into the ball game. They are going to try and ground and pound this Coastal Carolina defense. How about the block right in there by the center? Noah Hannon, number 60, made that hole open wide up.
Hannon, a senior from Greer, South Carolina, intellectual.
Yeah,
plans on going to law school next year. And this is going to be whistled dead. Going to be a false start.
False start, offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty.
That's Cooper Hodges.
First down.
Let's go to the studio and get an update on Vanderbilt and Florida.
All right, guys, have your AT&T 5G studio update. Florida is scored quickly. Kyle Trask, Kadarius Toney. Touchdown Gators all tied at 7 apiece.
All right, Matt. You know, with Trevor Lawrence not being able to play here the last few weeks, Kyle Trask looks like the leader right now for the Heisman Trophy. As Appalachian State gets it to the outside, that's going to be about an 8-yard pickup after the penalty. And some pushing and shoving along that Appalachian State sideline.
This Heisman thing could come down to the final game of the season. A lot of people think that Florida could end up meeting Alabama for the SEC championship, and that could decide it. And Mac Jones, what a terrific season he's having as well at Alabama.
Here's a look at Sean Clark in his first year. Third head coach in 3 years for Appalachian State. Peoples hit behind the line of scrimmage and then gets ahead, and he's got another first down as we go to Marty Smith.
Fellas, Dustin mentioned earlier the chip that Appalachian State is carrying on their shoulders into this game, and that's an unequivocal truth. Yes, I know that's a very big word for a Saturday afternoon. When we talked to Sean Clark last evening about that chip, it's the first time they've ever been an underdog in a Sun Belt game. And he was very diplomatic at first when we noted it, but I kind of pushed him. And he said, look, we noticed. Every player, every coach on the roster noticed, and yeah, we're a little ticked off. We want to remind everyone tomorrow, why the Sun Belt Championship goes through Boone, North Carolina. And we have a sack fumble. The ball's on the ground. It is recovered by the Mountaineers.
Marty, that was beautiful.
First time I've ever had to do that. I'm not going to lie, I had an anxiety spike.
It is Christian Wells. Johnny on the spot with the recovery for App State. Gunter coming in and throwing his weight around.
Well, Miller Gibbs nearly has it twice, and then thankfully he knocks it over to Christian Wells, number 16. Watch 81. 81's going to come from the backside. I think he's trying to pick it up and run with it. At that point, you just got to get on the football.
Jeffrey Gunter, all-conference bandit is what they call his position. It's a linebacker defensive end hybrid. We get another whistle here.
The ruling on the field was a recovery by the offense. A fumble, then a recovery by the offense. The previous play is on further review.
So they're going to look at it again. That guy is an impressive linebacker / defensive end. We'll talk more about him. We'll talk more about this Black Swarm defense when we come back as they take a look at that play. 2nd and 20 coming up.
So the officials were actually looking at, was this a forward pass as opposed to a fumble? Clearly a fumble, and clearly recovered by App State. So App State will have the ball.
And it'll be 2nd down and a mile. There's Gunter. Jeffrey Gunter out of Durham, North Carolina. He's got next level potential. Puts App State 10 yards behind the sticks. Quick pass to Deshaun Davis. One of the youngsters that App wanted to get involved in this game early. He gets a catch here in the first quarter to get a chunk of that yardage back.
I love what App State's doing with this offense. You know, they're running the ball up the middle. They're trying to get some yards on the ground. It's tough, though, against the front three of this Coastal Carolina defense, but they're also getting the ball on the perimeter, testing these cornerbacks out for Coastal Carolina and making them run sideline to sideline.
3rd down and about 11 as Thomas, arguably the best quarterback, and there aren't many people arguing that, in the Sun Belt the last few years, takes the snap out of the gun, and we've got another whistle. The flags have made for a choppy start to this big-time matchup in the Sun Belt East.
Start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. Remaining 3rd down.
Now today on ABC and the ESPN app, game that could decide the Big Ten West. Number 10 Wisconsin taking on number 19 Northwestern. Battle of undefeateds at 3:30 Eastern, and then Bedlam at 7:30 Eastern. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma and Norman. That should be good. So now 3rd and 16.
Got to look for your playmakers in situations like this. Where's Jalen Virgil and Thomas Hennigan?
It's a draw. Thomas going to be swallowed up at about the 27-yard line, and App State with a conservative play call there just to set up the punt unit.
Well, that drive, just an absolute disaster. Defensive line of Coastal not fooled at all by this play. Really good job corralling Zach Thomas. I kind of think that in this situation, Coach Clark wanted to get out of there, punt the football back, get your defense on the field, and get away from what just happened, which was an absolute disaster. 2 penalties, a fumble. Got to regroup. Not a good start.
Xavier Sabach, the Australian punter, puts his left foot into it. It's going to bounce at about the 37 and take an App State roll to close to the 35. You know, Jamie Chadwell, probably the hottest name in college football right now, considered, you know, a big-time candidate to get another coaching job. 43 years old. By the way, yes, he got his brake light fixed on his wife's car.
Yeah.
But since South Carolina fired Will Muschamp last week, I mean, his name has been in the rumor mill.
You got to love a coach like Jamie Chadwell having the sense of humor about this. Listen, he knows it's a reality. Other teams are going to call. In fact, he talked to his team. He went to them after practice one day, and he said, guys, listen, this is a testament to you guys. The fact that you guys have us 7-0, number 15 in the country. It's good for all of us when we're getting this exposure.
One play from scrimmage for Coastal Carolina. It resulted in a touchdown, and this is a nice positive play on first down as Hiley picks up 8 on that catch as we go to Marty.
You guys were talking about Jamie Chadwell being in the South Carolina coaching rumor mill. He said his own mom called. Mom calls and says, honey, are the rumors true? And he said, no, Mom. It's awesome. I grew up around SEC football, and so that's ultimately my dream. And to you guys' point, he told his team that. It's flattering, it's humbling, but it's a testament to the fact that you guys are undefeated. Now, he's the son of a coach. His brother's a coach. So he's just trying to enjoy the ride. Oh!
Likely had it, lost it. I think they're going to rule it
do some more
incomplete.
play-by-play. Holy cow.
Marty,
You're going to take my job before the day's over.
You're getting 2 paychecks for this game.
Don't worry, brother. I think your job is plenty secure.
And nobody's going to challenge him.
But how about this? We knew going into the game they were going to try to get to Likely early, because he kind of, by the third and fourth quarter, that foot that he's dealing with, that injury he's got, it starts to kind of, I don't know if it swells up on him, but it becomes more painful as the game goes. So they're going to take their shots early, and you see them with a concerted approach to go at Likely.
Third down, it's short. They're 53% this year on third down, second only to App State in the Sun Belt. Trying to pick it up here, and it's Marable wrapped up in the backfield and dumped for a huge loss. DeMarco Jackson, the middle linebacker, the reigning Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week, got in the backfield first.
It's Taylor. Watch Taylor right here. He's the guy who comes in and wraps him up. It's finished by Jackson. But Demetrius Taylor's the leader up front. He plays with such great leverage. Doing a great job getting in there for a huge stop. Huge loss. Going to force a punt.
Charles Overson comes on to do the kicking. And Malik Williams is going to let it bounce at the 30. It checks up. And decent field position for the Mountaineers to start this drive as we go to the studio. And Matt.
Gentlemen, LL Bean studio update. We have ourselves a battle of the boot between LSU and Arkansas. Felipe Frank, 65 yards. Treylon Burks, watch him make the man there. Dives for the pylon. Speaking of, I believe Marty Smith is wearing an LL Bean sweater today. Looks like it to me from here in studio.
He is always the best dressed guy in the room, especially when I'm in that room. Clay Matvick, Dustin Fox, Marty Smith here in Conway, South Carolina. This huge tilt in the Sun Belt. And each team with a touchdown so far. That is a powerful run for Cameron Peoples, who has been bullish here in the first quarter.
Watch the left guard here. Watch the push that he's going to have on this play to push all these guys down. And he's going to cut back against the grain. What a really good job by that offensive line.
Peoples already 10 carries, 83 yards and a touchdown. I'll send Virgil in motion, give it to Peoples, find some running room on the right side. And he's into plus territory at about the 47-yard line. Having a solid sophomore year, Cameron Peoples missed all but one game last year with a torn ACL. He has come all the way back.
Look at Coastal Carolina's defense trying to be opportunistic. The second man in on this black swarm defense, as they call it here at Coastal Carolina, they're trying to strip and get the football out. And look who's back in the game.
Teddy Gallagher, who was shaken up near the goal line earlier in this quarter. Good to see him back out there for Coastal. Here's Virgil on that receiver screen, and he's got a first down for Appalachian State to the 38-yard line.
You know, we talked with Sean Clark last night, and he talked about Virgil. He says he's kind of like a Ferrari. You know, they're delicate. It's kind of a nice way to put it. He says he's been battling an ankle injury for the majority of the season. He's finally back to full strength. And guys, he can flat out fly. This is a track guy and a big play threat on the outside.
Yeah, he's extremely fast, not 100%, but certainly dangerous. Peoples picking his way inside the 35 to the 32. Zach Thomas told you and I that he probably played his worst game, maybe of his career, last week against Georgia State, but so far using all of the weapons in this offense, and he's 5 for 5 passing.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Clark what happened with Zach Thomas. Was it just a bad game? I think that's kind of what they're chalking it up to, but it's very uncharacteristic of Thomas to perform like that because he's such a great player. He's been Mr. Consistent with his time here at App State.
You know, his numbers a little bit down from the last couple of years, but he's had so many injuries around him, guys that haven't been at their full capacity or completely out. As we see Nate Noel carry for the first time, the true freshman out of Miami, and he picks up a first down.
Well, we know we're out without Datrick Harrington, who was the starting tailback the majority of the first part of the season, and watch the finish through the contact by Nate Noel, the young freshman who's going to get some carries here today. Also without Marcus Williams in the backfield as well.
Probably see Anderson Castle at some point. They're not going to be able to ride one back in this offense, according to Tony Peterson, the offensive coordinator. They just need everybody that they can get in there. As Zach Thomas had no room on this near side, takes a loss.
But Jeffrey Gunter, who plays that bandit position, that's their edge rusher, who has to also drop into pass coverage. He came in on this play like a bandit to corral Zach Thomas.
This defense shut out Georgia State in Atlanta on Halloween, 51-0. App State barely beat the Panthers last week. It was a 17-13 final. Thomas out of the gun. Quick release, try to get it to Virgil. And pass was low, and it'll be third down and long.
He was expecting pressure, and so he tries to get the ball out hot. But you talk about the Black Swarm defense. Look at this. Count how many jerseys you see around Zach Thomas. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. They all run to the ball. And I think that's why they're having so much success this year, because it's not just one guy. It's a team defense running to the football.
That was the first incomplete pass for Thomas. They need to get it to the 19-yard line to keep this drive going. Thomas looking right. He's pressured. He got rid of it. Incomplete. I think he got it back to the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding.
Teron Jackson is nearly unblockable. And right here off the edge, you're going to see right here come in. Does a great job beating the right tackle and creates the pressure.
So Chandler Staten will come on for a field goal attempt. The fourth-year kicker had a rocky start to the year, but has made 5 of his last 6. A long of 39 this year. This will be from 50. And it's not going to happen.
It's going to get returned.
Let's see if we can get a kick 6 here for Coastal Carolina. Not a bad return. Great effort. Out to the 40-yard line by Manny Stokes. Again, this place is jacked up.
They're excited. This is nearly the Iron Bowl of years ago. Watch all the blocks. These guys are smart. You know there's big guys out there. That's the field goal team, okay? There's not a lot of skill players, to put it nicely. Okay, you've got a couple tight ends who can run, but boy, they're lucky to get him down.
Time now for today's Weekend Wake Up, brought to us by Wendy's Breakfast.
I think App State, their corners have to hold up in man coverage on the outside because they got to stop the run. And for Coastal, those front 3, we just saw it. It's perfect timing for it. Teron Jackson, Clark, and Brewer, those 3 have to get penetration.
The redshirt freshman Grayson McCall. You said it before, Dusty's run this offense a lot in his life. He played the same offense in high school. And off that option, he picks up 6 on first down. Porter Ridge High School right outside of Charlotte.
And I thought was fascinating, early in this fall camp, he missed 28 days for some contact tracing. And so he spent a lot of time by himself watching the film, learning. And when he came back, it was unbelievable the amount of progress this quarterback had made to earn him the starting job.
Beat out 2 juniors who started 6 games apiece last year. Tells you what they think of this freshman as Marable gets the pitch, and he gets out close to a first down. They think Maribel's going to get about 20 touches today. The more he touches it, probably better for Coastal.
And finally, for Coastal, they've got other running backs who can take some of the workload off of Maribel's, because typically he kind of wears out in the fourth quarter. Now, as you mentioned, Clay, 15 to 20 touches, that's going to keep him fresh throughout the ballgame.
And they're not going to run a play, I don't think, here before the end of the first quarter. Nope. We knew that this would be a heavyweight battle. The winner gets a foothold in the Sun Belt East. Each team with a touchdown. We've had a missed extra point. It's 7-6. The four-time defending champs in this league take round one. Foothold. Grayson McCall will hand off here on third down and short, and I don't think they got it.
DeMarco Jackson, the Mike backer and leader of this defense, plugged that hole in about 2 seconds. Watch 52. In the middle of your screen right there, just shoots the gap. And I think they stopped them. Just short, but they're going to go for it.
Well, they do a lot. They're 7 of 9 this year on fourth down. They've made at least one fourth down conversion in every game but one. So this is no surprise that Jamie Chadwell's going to try something. McCall's in trouble, and he still manages to pick up the first down. Grayson McCall with that moxie you talked about.
Boy, he looked like he was dead to rights. Look at this. It's a read option. He decides to pull it, but he's going to get run down by Harrington. Harrington's got to make that stop. He makes that stop. App State's got the football back. He cuts it back, and then watch the effort. He fights, and he gets the first down. You mentioned moxie. That's exactly moxie on the field. Terrific effort by McCall.
Coastal Carolina is so worried about the speed of that defense for App State, and we've seen it. But McCall was able to neutralize that speed with his quickness, and he throws a strike to the 29-yard line. Still on his feet and inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line, Isaiah Likely again.
The play-action pass is going to make the defense bite up. That opens this wide open as Likely comes across the formation and is wide open. I love what we're seeing from Likely early in this game. We know he's battling that foot injury, so they're going to get as much use out of him as possible in the first half of this ball game. And so far, boy, a lot of production for Isaiah Likely.
2 catches already over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. McCall hands off, and this is going nowhere. And that is a touch for Reese White, the backup to C.J. Maribel the last 2 years. Let's go back down to Marty.
Well, to further this conversation about the moxie and cool demeanor of Grayson McCall, we talked to Jamie Chadwell about that this week, and he said it doesn't matter if this kid just won the Heisman or threw a pick. It's the exact same demeanor. And then we followed up about his toughness. How tough is this young man as a quarterback and leader for your team? And I love what he said. He goes, y'all know that John Wayne toilet paper? He's like that John Wayne toilet paper. He's tough as hell. He don't take no crap off nobody. Boys, I laughed for 5 straight minutes. I couldn't stop.
Well, McCall, even with his John Wayne grit, is spun down at the 25 there as Taylor got back behind the line of scrimmage, and so did Nick Hampton, the speed rusher for App State.
Really good job by Dale Jones, the defensive coordinator, dialing up some pressure here, getting after him. It's really Taylor, though, that can't be blocked. Number 9, this guy's got NFL-type talent as a defensive end in a 3-4. And you mentioned the pressure from the safety coming in there as well.
Well, let's see what John Wayne can do here. Third down and a long way to go. Ball comes out, and Coastal is able to recover.
Guess who again?
Well, it's number 9, Demetrius Taylor. Man, he's been all over the field. And so now the field goal unit will come out, and this is going to have to be a long blast for Biscardi, who's already missed an extra point.
You watch Taylor right there. He's going up against Badowski, the right tackle, and Badowski just can't stay with Taylor. And now another long field goal attempt. We talked with the staff. They said he's got range from about 52, 53. There's no wind. This is a perfect day. I know Marty's sweating it out down there on the sidelines.
Well, this has the distance. Is it accurate enough? Yes! Massimo Viscardi, the first-generation American who grew up playing soccer just outside of Philadelphia, bangs home a 50-yarder, redeems himself for that miss earlier.
Well, there'll be no kick six on this one. Got a huge leg, and what a response by the Chanticleers.
Boots this to the end zone, and App State will have it at the 25. We've got a studio update with Matt.
All right, guys, been a rough start for Justin Fields after that first drive. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. Look at this one. Big Jerome Johnson somehow comes down with it after it gets tipped off of Chris Olave. Great effort out of him. Indiana's defense has now recorded multiple interceptions in all 5 of its games this season. And then LSU, Arkansas, TJ Finley, dime. Racey McMath, touchdown, 10-7 LSU.
All right, Matt, thanks.
All right, Marty, you think I'm a little nuts for having Cincinnati at number 6?
Not at all, brother. I love what Luke Fickell's done there. It's just tremendous, but I'm pretty boring. I got Bama 1, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Clemson. And my first 2 out are A&M and Florida, which just happen to be the top 6 ranked teams in the country. I know that's boring, but I love what Bama does offensively. Notre Dame has impressed me so much. Notre Dame has impressed me so much. I think Ohio State, we don't have much body of work for them yet. You just heard Barry saying that Justin Fields is having a tough day. And Clemson lost to a very good team on the road with a freshman backup quarterback at the helm in overtime. So, look, I can't wait to see. Notre Dame and Clemson are going to play again.
Right.
And so I can't wait to see what that game looks like on a neutral field with Trevor Lawrence behind center.
All right, so after a penalty first down at 15, they're going to stay with what's been working, and that's Cameron Peoples. And he works hard to get across the 30 and close to a first down. And Dustin, I got to ask you, where is Clemson in all of this now, especially with that game getting postponed today? I mean, does that hurt them?
I don't think that losing a game you were favored by 5 touchdowns is going to kill you, but it's still one more game you're not going to have on the resume. I look at what Marty said about the Notre Dame game. They're going to play again. We'll see that late in the season. But Clemson's still one of the top 4 teams. It's the eye test to me. I look at Clemson and I say this is one of the top 4 teams in college football, assuming they win out and win their conference championship.
Peoples, 13 carries, 110 yards already, and he's going to get another carry, and he gets to the edge. What a burst as he gets to the 48-yard line of Coastal Carolina.
And Coastal Carolina is very lucky that Alex Spillum, their free safety, is able to make this tackle, and it's a shoestring tackle. This hole opens up wide. Right there on the outside, terrific block, kick-out block there by Miller Gibbs. And if Spillum doesn't make that tackle, that is a house call.
Peoples steps out of a tackle. He's got another first down. And again, this offensive line put under the microscope this week. I mean, they're passing the test today with flying colors.
Their head coach, Sean Clark, is an offensive line coach by trade.
The chains are broken.
As they'll work on the chains. We'll talk offensive line. Peoples is growing before our very eyes in this ballgame, but I also think that line, Sean Clark flat out said, not in these words, in probably a little bit of harsher words, you got your butts kicked against Georgia State. Challenged their manhood. And so far early in this ballgame, you can see these guys are getting that push off the football, and they're giving wide open lanes to Cameron Peoples, and he is just running for days.
Sean Clark, an offensive line coach by trade, now in his first year as head coach of his alma mater. Scott Satterfield left for Louisville a couple of years ago. Eli Drinkwitz came in. He was here for 1 year and then left for Missouri. So it's Sean Clark's turn now, and it doesn't matter who the head coach is, it doesn't seem, with Appalachian State. They continue to have a certain level of excellence.
There is a standard in Boone, North Carolina, and no matter who that head coach is, every player, every coach, they understand that standard of excellence.
Rolling out Thomas. Got it to Thomas Hennigan. That's his first catch. He's been a focal point of this offense since 2017, but he's been fighting a hamstring for several weeks. He gets 7.
He's probably their sure-handed receiver, their best receiver, maybe even on the outside. But he can't get that burst, that full speed burst down the field because of that hamstring you talked about there, Clay. So they're going to run a lot of shorter routes, little hitches, stops, slants, stuff where they can get the ball to him early so he doesn't have to sprint 40 yards down the field.
It's a run on second down that picks it up for Noel. And App State will move the chains.
App State is more than happy to be in a ball game like this, where it's kind of like you said, going to break, slugfest. Really great defenses, running the football, letting the offensive line get that push, and right now this is a perfect Sean Clark game.
Henry Pearson, the tight end, is in the backfield to the left of Thomas. Noel will get another carry, find some room up the middle, and he'll pick up 5 on first down. I'll kick off your Week 11 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the app. They're going to have all the breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up till kickoff. Monday Night Football this week, Tampa Bay. And I tell you, Tom Brady is something else. Yeah.
Tampa Bay, come on. He is something else. At his age, to still be doing it.
Looking forward to that one. 9-7 Coastal leading, but App State is driving, and they're driving with the offensive line making holes. That hole was open for a moment, closed quickly, and it's going to be third down and manageable for App State.
I think, partner, Zach Thomas time. Design quarterback run. Third and about 5, third and 4. This hole closes really quick here, right here on the outside. That's their spur linebacker, Enoch Bacanzo. Boy, having him back this year has really helped this Coastal Carolina team. Tore his ACL in week 2 in 2019. Now he's back to full strength and really helping this offense develop.
Thomas, the keep, late pitch, first down for Nate Noel.
Well, that was a dangerous pitch by Zach Thomas. They were on the edge. I thought Thomas just could have easily ran around the corner and got the first down. Nate Noel kind of got closer to, you'll see it right here. He kind of gets close to Thomas right here. Boy, and it was up front. Dangerous, but still able to pick up that first down.
You see the rushing yards. It's been a great performance so far. They've already done better on the ground than they did their entire game last week against Georgia State. Play fake. Thomas rolling to his right. He's going to dump it in the flat. This is Malik Williams trying to shake loose. He'll get a couple, and that's it as he's cut down by Spillum, who's having himself a game here in the first half. Spillum out of Chanhassen, Minnesota.
Now this is a design play where it's a triple option RPO. So they'll put a tight end in the backfield. So they'll fake it to Noel. He'll be able to either run it himself or dump it off, as he does right there, to Malik Williams. A little wrinkle they've added the last couple of weeks.
Noel hits, and he's going to be forced back by Chad Stagg's defense. And it'll be third down and 8. We talked to Chad Staggs at length this week. Young, energetic defensive coordinator. He's been with Chadwell a long time, and he has really snapped this group into shape in the last couple of years.
The Black Swarm. You gotta love a nickname like that. And to have a nickname like that, Clay, you've got to be able to back it up on the field. And this defense has done exactly that. They're only giving up 16 points a game this season.
Thomas on 3rd and 8. Running out of time. He's pressured. Spun away, and now he is down.
He's got to get rid of that football. You can't take a sack in that situation. You're already in field goal range. We know this game's going to be tight.
Brewer and Gunter are going to be credited with that sack, and Gunter has been outstanding.
Boy, having Gunter has just really made that bandit position excel in this defense. He's like the perfect body type to play that. His size, 6'4", 260, and his speed. And now you got a big, long field goal coming up here. They already missed the first one.
Chandler Staten from 44. You bet. And App State regains the lead.
Timeout.
Boy, this Black Swarm defense.
The Black Swarm making plays for Coastal Carolina. Have a day.
Number 15, Coastal Carolina, trying to take out the four-time defending champs, App State. Here today in Conway, App State goes in front with the field goal from State and 10-9. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. All right, what Masters champ went to Coastal Carolina? What South Carolina native, former Coastal golf student, won his second major on the PGA Tour recently? I think this is a layup, isn't it? This is the best we could do.
It's a layup. He also shares my name.
I was going to say, this is really easy for you. It's really easy for Marty Party, too. You spent a week with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coastal will have it back with 4:52 to go in the first half. We'll talk more about the trivia question in a moment. We're going to step aside here. 10-9, Appalachian State leading in Conway.
Hey, guys.
Wow, Indiana could shock the college football world today.
What a job Tom Allen has done with the Hoosiers and really their defense. Bowling up today, tied 7-all in the second quarter.
The Chanticleers start at their 25. McCall keeps it. Grayson McCall is going to pick up a couple as App State leads it 10-9 after a season-long field goal for Chandler Staten. Grayson McCall, very accurate quarterback, 70% on the year. He hasn't thrown a pick since week 3 against Arkansas State. We've already seen his touch today on a long touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely. 75-yarder on the first play from scrimmage. Second down and 8. McCall feels some pressure, steps up to avoid it, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary from Shamar Jean-Charles, who leads the country in passes defended. Number 8 is one of the best in the business.
He's got a chance to play at the next level, and I've been so impressed with his ability to play man press coverage on the outside. We talked about it there with our keys to the game. These corners are 2 of the tops in the entire Sun Belt. The tandem of him and Jolly. Boy, Jean-Charles is going to have his hands full today because those guys, they're going to lock him up on the outside.
They call that App State secondary the Legion of Boone. Another wrestling reference for you.
I love that.
That's 2 now for me. Third down and 8. McCall forced out to his right. Eyes downfield. And that is incomplete.
Boy, Clay, I sort of thought for a minute that McCall... I thought McCall could have... All this green grass up here. I thought he could have taken off and run. Now he tries to force the throw. Did he get it?
They ruled it complete now.
Oh, they did. Okay.
I think we're going to get a review, though.
Wasn't sure if he was bobbling it there as he was coming down.
Well, now they're marking it back at the 26-yard line. So it is ruled incomplete.
Further review of
They're a little confused down there, Dustin. So they are going to look at it. Apparently it was ruled incomplete. And they're going to have to go upstairs to the review booth again. Was this our third review already here, the half?
If you're keeping track at home, yes, it is our third review.
While they look at it, we're going to step aside here in Conway.
As it starts to come down, right there is going to be ruled to apparently got a little bit of the turf, and that's a huge first down. It was going to be a long fourth down. They were going to have to punt the ball.
McCall keeps on first down from the 40-yard line and picks up about 7. So Coastal had what looked like a fumble recovery taken away from them in the first quarter near the goal line because of the review. They get a break here.
Big time break. And to me, Clay, it was tough to tell. They ruled it incomplete on the field. From that angle, I just don't know if you could for sure see if that toe got down.
The spread option offense, 38 points per game, first in the Sun Belt. Second down and 3 from the 46-yard line. A lot of wrinkles and nuance in this offense. And Grayson McCall dancing. He might get one as Nick Hampton, the outside linebacker, shot in to make the hit. Third down and 2. Now the helmet came off of McCall, so he's going to have to leave the field for one play.
Well, this happened in their last game as well, and Fred Payton comes in the play that he had to come in for, they threw right away. So it's not like Fred Payton hasn't played some football. Their full playbook here on third down. It's a big third down, by the way. They may want to consider calling timeout to be able to get him back in the game. But I think they're going to allow Payton to run the snap.
Payton considered the starter in August, but an Achilles injury flared up, and McCall won the job. Payton finds some room on the right side. He's got the first down as he comes off the bench cold and gets the chains moving down to the 46 of Appalachian State.
Well, you can see the skill set for the position of quarterback here at Coastal Carolina. This is what they want. Guys who can run this option and certainly can run. See Payton's numbers on the season, but now McCall will come back in the game, and thank you, Mr. Backup Quarterback. You got us the first down.
Payton led Coastal to a win over Georgia Southern last month when McCall was out with a sore shoulder, so he's hardly incapable.
No, he can play.
They'll send Cameron Brown in motion from right to left. Play fake. McCall steps up. Taylor was breathing down his neck, and McCall felt that breath, and he got rid of it incomplete. Boy, with Demetrius Taylor, the senior at 6'1", 295, and quick like a cat, you got to hurry up and get rid of it.
He has so much ability to play with leverage that he has a low center of gravity. He pushes, and it nearly takes, double teams to try and stop Taylor. He's so much fun to watch on this App State defense.
18 career sacks for Taylor. He had a monster year last year, especially that win at North Carolina. Second down and 10. McCall on the draw, splits the defense, and he's going to get about 5. And it'll be third down.
I must say the corners for App State have done a good job early in this ball game. Gene Charles and Jolly, they have not been able to get really the football on the outside at all. The plays have been made all with the run game, with McCall, and certainly with Isaiah Likely, the tight end. But that's not the corners. That's the safeties and linebackers.
Well, they're probably going to have to pass here, and this is a hard team to pass against. 10 interceptions for Appalachian State. That is 7th national.
There's the matchup right there. That's Hiley on Gene Charles on the outside.
McCall. Pocket collapses, and down he goes. Boy, that's the pressure and the sack that they needed. Sperlin, one of the most improved players on that App State defense, coming home.
And I think they may have been looking to the right side to highlight. Hiley on the outside was covered well by Gene Charles. Look at the pressure gets home. But watch the mirror. Stays with him. It's going to try to be a double move. He's running right to the stick. Can't get there. And by the time he saw the coverage, the sack was there.
Timeout on the field with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go before half. Let's go to the studio and a quick update with Matt.
All right, guys, coming up on the Lexus halftime report, Ohio State, Indiana, big one in the Big Ten. We'll have highlights of that. Plus, Florida Vandy, maybe a little closer than people thought. Vandy hanging out in that one. Plus, we've got Bedlam tonight, Oklahoma State. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway going to join me as we break down a busy Saturday in college football. Gentlemen.
All right, Matt, we'll see you in just over a minute. So Appalachian State, with a little time on the clock and a couple of timeouts, spends a timeout knowing that Zach Thomas doesn't need a lot of time to work some magic.
Now, this game started with fireworks, but it's really kind of settled in. These defenses are playing extremely well here after the first 5 or so minutes of the ball game.
Overson's punt is fielded at the 15-yard line, and here comes Zach Thomas, Player of the Year in this league 2 years ago. The senior out of Trussville, Alabama, quiet leader. They hope he comes back for a bonus year in 2021. What do you think the chances of that happening are?
it's a free year, right? I mean, it's certainly possible. I'm not sure if he wants to try to go to the next level, but I think he'd probably consider coming back. All right, so with a minute left here, this is an area of the field and certainly the time of the game where App State likes trick play, so keep an eye on that.
Cameron Peoples has had a monster day on the ground. Already over 141 yards rushing and a touchdown. As you take a look at App State's day, touchdown on the opening series, and a couple of drives that didn't produce any fruit, and then a field goal by Staten from 44 yards out. And we get a timeout, and they're looking at Jalen Virgil. We told you about his ankle injury earlier, and you wonder if that's not what they're looking at again.
I'm surprised he doesn't have his ankle with the brace on or taped up. It looks like he's just got a sock on it. It's hard to say. But he's a little bit ginger on that right foot. He's going to get rolled up on here at the end of this play. Oh.
So an ankle that's already sore, and then that happens. Yeah. And again, you talked about him being a track star at App State as well. So his ankles are very delicate.
He's a Ferrari, they said. They're expensive to fix, too.
54 seconds to go before half. App State trying to get a few more points on the board before halftime. They stick it in the arms of Peoples. He gets across the 30 to the 33. And if you're App State, how do you want to play this?
Well, you get this first down. Now you go tempo with it. You know, you've got 2 timeouts left. You got plenty of time. You're out near, getting closer to midfield. There you go.
Thomas right on target to Christian Wells, the exciting redshirt freshman, into Coastal Carolina territory.
Well, now you've got every option available with 38 seconds and 2 timeouts. Clock does stop as he gets out of bounds, and they get the first down.
They're actually going to mark it at the 49 of App. Still plenty of time.
Well, knowing that Coastal's going to get the football to start the second half, you definitely want to make sure you try to get some points now as you're at midfield.
Thomas stays clean in the pocket. Over the middle. That pass is high. Malik Williams couldn't reel it in.
Boy, dangerous throw there by Zach Thomas. I think when Williams went up to try to grab the football, I think it just kind of mistimed the defender, Alex Spillum, who's coming in there behind. If this football doesn't get tipped, I think it's an easy interception for Coastal Carolina. See, right there, he thinks he's going to get the football, and the ball gets tipped backwards. That's a lucky break for App State.
Thomas now 8 of 11, just 69 yards passing. It's been the run game that has been so effective, but they need the offense to figure it out now here in a hurry, running out of time. It is Peoples, and they're going to call a timeout with 25 seconds to go before half.
Timeout. Appalachian State. This is a 30-second timeout. Second timeout of the first half.
What a Monday Night Football matchup between NFC playoff contenders this week. Aaron Donald and the 6-3 Rams trying to get into a tie with the Seahawks in the NFC West. They square off against Tom Brady and the 7-3 Bucks. We're going to keep pace with the Saints in the NFC South. It comes your way at 8 Eastern. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown. And that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that one. We talked about Cameron Peoples. You know, with no Datrick Harrington, no Marcus Williams, a lot on his shoulders today, and he has been outstanding.
He's been absolutely outstanding, Clay, and the reason he has been is because look at the push that they're getting from this offensive line that was challenged this week by their head coach, Sean Clark. They're playing this week in a big game at a much higher level than they have this entire season. This is the App State offensive line that Sean Clark recruited and coached up.
Peoples 8.5 yards per carry so far today. Thomas is going to take off. Goes up the middle. He's got enough for a first down. 20 seconds to go.
I think you got to spike it.
The clock stops momentarily to move the chains. And Thomas and the offense will lose just 1 second after that spike. They've still got a timeout in their pocket.
Great job by him looking downfield. Everything's covered. He knows it's third down. Got to pick up the first down. He knows exactly where he's got to get to. And That's not good news.
No. Jalen Virgil being carted to the locker room.
So, Clay, you can still work the middle of the field here if you're App State. You got that one timeout. You make sure you want to keep that for your timeout for the field goal.
Well, and they need, realistically, about another 15 yards to get in Staten's range.
Coastal Carolina, 30-second timeout. First timeout of the first half.
He hit a season-high 44-yarder earlier in this game.
Cameron Peoples has been a workhorse in this game. You know, last week, he had 17 for just 67 yards. This game, already 19 carries, a $162. I mean, the rest of the team, 11 carries, just a yard. Now, that includes some sack yardage, of course, but Peoples is having himself a monster day, 8.5 yards per carry, and, of course, that one touchdown. And they're lucky, by the way, to have got that touchdown. Good, partner.
You and Marty were talking about the chip on Appalachian State's shoulder. The first time underdogs in a conference game since 2015. 5-point underdogs today. They've got a 1-point lead right now and hoping to add on to it before this first half expires. They may have drawn Coastal off. Free play. No, they're going to whistle it dead.
Boy, I thought for sure Teron Jackson was offsides.
Offsides on the defense, number 9, undebated, caused the offense to jump. 5-yard penalty, remain second down. What was it?
And watch, 9's at the top of your screen there. That's Teron Jackson. And because he had a free rush to the quarterback, they're going to just blow the play dead.
Well, this really helps out Appalachian State. That's 5 more yards closer to the goalposts.
With no time off the clock.
Yeah, no time off the clock. Peoples in the flat, has a blocker. Pearson threw a nice block, and Peoples is able to get to the 25 with 13 seconds to go. And App State uses its final timeout of the first half.
What awareness by Zach Thomas on this play. They're going to blitz Enoch Macanzo off the left side, and that's exactly where he throws the football to. That's what great quarterbacks do. They recognize pressure, and they throw to that area.
Appalachian State, this is their third and final timeout of the first half. Reset the game clock to 13 seconds.
How about the block?
Watch the blitz. Going to come right here, and that's where he throws it to. So there's a void off to the right side, and just great awareness and vision by Zach Thomas. See, here's the blitz. Going to come right here. Well, that's where you throw the football to. And then it's all Peoples. And now they're in field goal range. So you got to be careful. You still can work towards the end zone here, but just with 13 seconds, you cannot take a sack.
Zach Thomas working with first-year offensive coordinator Tony Peterson. Peterson played quarterback at App State in the late 80s. He barely changed anything in this offense when he got the job, and he and Thomas have clicked right away. Their chemistry is undeniable, and it's a real testament to Thomas, who's been through a lot of head coaches and a lot of offensive coordinators in his time at App State.
He's about the one constant at App State, number 12 under center. And he's almost like a coach on the field. That's one of the greatest traits he has, is he knows this offense inside and out.
Out of timeouts, 13 seconds to go. 1-point lead for App State, looking for more. Thomas has Wells caught. Touchdown. Christian Wells with his 4th touchdown catch of the season. It's a big one here in the final moments of the first half.
The staff said to us this week that Christian Wells, the redshirt freshman who broke out, by the way, in the Ark State game, had a couple of touchdowns. They need more production from their wide receivers. They've got to win their one-on-one matchups in crucial moments. And right there, in a big spot, the pressure comes. You get one-on-one on the outside, and it's a touchdown.
17-9 with 9 seconds to go in the half.
This is the Jordan Strong in man coverage here on the outside, and he just gets beat. Flat out beat off the line of scrimmage, and what a ball. The touch drops it right in like a dime. And he's pumped. I'm sure they're pretty pumped back in Boone, North Carolina.
Zach Thomas, a quintessential leader, 29-4 as a starting quarterback. Only Trevor Lawrence has more wins among active players. Lawrence, of course, not playing today as Clemson's game at Florida State was postponed because of COVID. And look at that scoring summary. 9 plays, 84 yards. They did it in 51 seconds.
And a drive like that, Clay, will build your confidence as a quarterback. And the way he played last week was not good enough, not even close to being good enough to the standard they have at App State and to the standard of Zach Thomas. That was a huge response by App State before halftime.
Reese White is back deep. Dangerous return man for Coastal Carolina. Staten will put it on the turf. One of the up men will cover it at the 30-yard line as App State tries to avoid a kickoff return touchdown that would change momentum here in the final seconds. So Grayson McCall will come out now. It's his serve here with 8 seconds left. How does Coastal play this? Are they conservative and take it into the locker room, or did they take a shot here?
Well, listen, they missed that PAT, which right now kind of looms large. It's an 8-point game. I would consider taking at least one shot here. You've got 2 timeouts left, and your kicker has got range from 55 yards. Why not take one shot? Plus, you get the football to start the second half. Absolutely take a shot, I think.
Grayson McCall, 5 of 8 passing, 119 and a touchdown. They will run it. And it's Marable still on his feet. And he's going to stay in bounds, and that's going to be the last play of the half. Coastal Carolina, the number 15 team in the country, but App State is the 4-time defending champ in this league. And it's Thomas and the Mountaineers with a 17-9 lead at the half. Now to the studio, Matt, Joey, and Jesse.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Time now.
Welcome back to Conway, South Carolina, and ESPN College Football presented by Geico. Number 15, Coastal Carolina, first time trailing at the half this season. Everybody talking about Coastal, Dustin Fox, but the 4-time defending champs, Appalachian State, looked like the defending champs in that first half.
They took their game plan to Coastal Carolina in that first half. They ran the ball effectively, defensively. They shut down the rushing attack of Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Marable, the guy that's supposed to get 15 to 20 touches today for Coastal Carolina. He had 3 touches in the first half, was essentially an afterthought. There's Demetrius Taylor, one of the reasons why that defensive front for App State has been outstanding, and they've been good in the corners again today.
And you think about this, they're without one of their starters. Blackstock's not playing this game. So you've got Spurlin, Taylor, Jordan Earl, these guys up front, and of course having DeMarco Jackson behind, kind of cleaning up all the mess, that helps as well.
Let's go down to Marty Smith.
Kick out of bounds.
Guys, I spoke to both head coaches as they exited their locker rooms. Let's start with Sean Clark from Appalachian State. He said to me that they had 3 undisciplined penalties. We cannot have it. We cannot have those in a game of this magnitude. He did say, though, that he loves the energy. He loves the effort. He said he challenged the offensive line this week and that they've responded tremendously. He also told me Cam Peoples, Marty, that guy's a man possessed today. And as far as Jalen Vigil is concerned, it is that ankle. He is going to try to go. Jamie Chadwell from the other side of the ball told me this first drive is absolutely critical. We have to control the ball better. We need touchdowns, not field goals. And then he said, this one has a championship game feel, doesn't it? Boy, this is what we love to do.
Boy, amen to that. This has felt like a championship matchup all week, and essentially it is. The Sun Belt East will potentially be decided today. Winner will have a foothold. They did get it to C.J. Marable on the first play from scrimmage here in the half, so that's probably an indication they do want to get him more touches here in the second half.
15 to 20 a game minimum is what they want. Just the 3 carries in the first half. That's not going to get it done.
Play fake. McCall over the seam, and it's tipped away. Great coverage by Gene Charles again.
I think he was a little early and may have got away with the call right there. Gene Charles, their top corner on the outside. Let's see if he gets there a little early. I think he was. I think he, obviously the shot fans are a little bit upset right now. They thought they should have had a pass interference call. Big third down now coming up as Gene Charles kind of gets away with one. And listen, when you're one of the top corners in the country, sometimes these officials, they respect that. They let you get away with one from time to time.
And now we had movement on the line. I don't know if the Chanticleers drew App off.
Offsides, defense, number 9, causing the offensive tackle to move. 5-yard penalty, remain third down.
What's number 9, top of your screen, right there.
What's this? Dan Clark?
I wonder, he's pointing at Badowski, the right tackle, who moved as well, but I think he was in the neutral zone prior. So again, a big 3rd and 7 coming up here for this Chanticleer offense. It's Grayson McCall, got up his sleeve.
Javon Hiley went in motion. He's been quiet today, their top receiver. McCall will tuck it and run. Good decision inside the 40, the 30, he could go. 15, goodbye, touchdown. Grayson McCall. 63 yards to the house.
Just a redshirt freshman quarterback says, put it on me. Our offense is struggling right now. Our running game's not having much effect. Not anything open down the field because the corners are covering up these wide receivers, and just puts it on himself to the house.
And now they will go for 2 to try and tie this game up. Grayson McCall with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. He's got great feet. Put it on display there. And now he'll sneak up under center. He'll dump it into the flat to Likely. He's quickly wrapped up. Steps out of a tackle. Lunges for the goal line but can't get there.
What an effort by Jackson, 52. Never gives up on it. But watch this run by Grayson McCall. Nothing open down the field. And just really good effort. Breaks it back inside. Shows you that he's more athletic than people think. And the shots are right back in it.
The shots under 43-year-old Jamie Chadwell back in this game. Chadwell rumored for other coaching jobs, namely the South Carolina job. Told his players, any rumors you hear about me, that's a testament to you. And he told R. Marty Smith at halftime that first drive of the second half is going to be absolutely critical. Well, McCall put it in the end zone from 62 yards away on the ground. Fumble. Picked up. Malik Williams is going to be dumped inside the 10. Well, today on ABC and the ESPN app, a game that could decide the Big Ten West. Number 10 Wisconsin taking on 19 Northwestern, 3:30 Eastern, and we're going to have the Bedlam game at 7:30. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma in Norman. That's the top 25 head-to-head.
Back to your point about that drive to start the second half, that was crucial. And really, I think what Grayson McCall was able to do, that was a 3rd and 7. Okay, so because it was, 3rd and manageable because of the offsides penalty, Grayson knew all he had to do was pick up the first down. All of a sudden, he finds himself in a position to get a house call, and now we got a ball game.
Now we'll see how the Mountaineers respond. Cam Peoples has been outstanding, pushing tacklers away, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's not going to happen as that black swarm defense, as it's been known around here for some time under defensive coordinator Chad Staggs, makes the stop. Jordan Strong on the hit.
Watch how many black jerseys are in the picture. And the push, that push was all Gerard Clark up front, number 15, the nose tackle. He's the one that pushes the center right into the Peoples in the backfield, and that allows the defense to swarm and get the stop for a loss.
A lot of leadership on this defense. Thomas hands off again. Again, it's Peoples. He'll get about 5 to make it 3rd down and fairly long. 5th-year seniors like Jackson, Brewer, and Kelly on this defense, Dustin. You know, they stayed through the FCS to FBS transition, and they've been key this year.
Watch right here in the center of your screen. That's Kelly. Watch the push. He gets in there, beats the cut block, and allows the linebackers to swarm.
Third down and 7. Thomas taking a deep shot. He's got a man. It is caught by Malik Williams. And he gets it to the 20-yard line before being tackled.
I asked Sean Clark last night on our Zoom call, Coach, you're going to have to take some shots down the field. You feel like to loosen up this defense, you're going to have to be able to do some of that stuff. He says, yes, absolutely. Thomas has to be more accurate, and our wide receivers down the field have to come up with big plays. And right there, Malik Williams bails out the App State offense. What a job flipping the field.
Thomas going to the air again. He's got a man open. Incomplete. Christian Horn, the true freshman, couldn't reel it in. That was a little out of the way for Horn, but he tried to twist and make the catch. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
It would have been a tough catch, but it should be made. Look at this. This is a great throw. And Thomas is not happy. He's like, oh, my goodness, we had one.
Those are the freshmen they talked about. Yep. Christian Horn, Christian Wells needed to make an impact today.
Well, both of them have.
Peoples again. Boy, he is a tall, rangy running back. 6'2", 210 pounds. You don't see a lot of running backs that tall anymore. Kind of a Robert Smith look to him.
Who's the most notable? Derrick Henry in the National Football League. A tall running back. To be able to run at that size and also run with your pads low, that's tough to do. And Peoples, as Marty mentioned, coming out of halftime when he talked with Coach Sean Clark, he's a man running possessed right now behind this offensive line.
3rd down and 7. Appalachian State 5 of 8 today on 3rd down. Noel goes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Thomas trying to take it himself, and there isn't much up the middle. Leading the charge, C.J. Brewer, as you mentioned, the heartbeat of this defense. And it's 4th down.
Kind of thought they should have just tried the little shovel pass there, but you mentioned Brewer. We talked about him a ton. Both Brewer and Jackson have grown up together in this defense and really brought along Gerard Clark. This defensive line, probably the strength of that team.
So here's Chandler Staten setting up. He's already hit a 44-yarder today. This is a 37-yard attempt of the senior from Gainesville, Georgia. And that one.
ESPN College Football, presented by Geico, is brought to you by Mazda and Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Grayson McCall for Heisman and game day in Conway. I think both of those are fair arguments right now, but if Coastal Carolina, Dustin, doesn't win this game today, a lot of the momentum, a lot of the hot talk around this program, it's going to subside. Right now, everybody knows about Coastal Carolina.
Well, and you wonder how much of this program may be looking ahead to that potential matchup against Liberty, which would be a top 25 matchup at the end of the season. That would have maybe game day written all over it, but they got to take care of business here today against the defending Sun Belt Conference champions.
Well, that's a kick out of bounds for Appalachian State.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Now Staten, who just hit that field goal to make it a 5-point lead, will cause a penalty. All right, let's get our Aflac trivia answer. Remember the question from the first half? What South Carolina native and former Coastal golf standout just won his second major on the PGA Tour? Pretty easy answer.
It's a layup.
Dustin Johnson, who was here in 2003 through 2007. He was outstanding in Augusta.
It was amazing to watch, gentlemen. It was the first time he's ever held the lead after 54 holes and closed a major, and he actually admitted to me after the final round that he did have some concern. There was some insecurity because he started shaky on Sunday, but he reeled it in on 6 and then went on to a record 20 under tournament. Just an amazing, amazing effort by him and a dream come true, and it was beautiful to watch.
Had to be a little surreal, too, you know, watching fall golf at Augusta.
It was. When you see that gorgeous canvas of green stippled with autumnal hues, like red, orange, and yellow, it was. And with no patrons there, the people are the passion. They're the energy. So it was a very different Masters, but a lifelong dream fulfilled nonetheless for Dustin.
Marty, was the food still just as good?
Oh my, I ate way too many egg salad and pimento cheese sandwiches.
Pimento cheese, you bet.
Hey, they serve cold beer in the media room.
They do.
So
oh, goodness.
That's a victory for all mankind.
That's a win for Marty Smith.
Alongside Dustin Fox and Marty Smith, I'm Clay Matvick, enjoying this atmosphere here at Brooks Stadium. 5,500 socially distanced fans. And this is the biggest game in Coastal Carolina history. They've been chasing it a little bit at times here today. They're down to the 4-time defending champs from the Sun Belt Conference, the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. On 3rd and short, they are going to pick up the first down, it looks like. And they do it on the ground. Nothing has really come easy today for Coastal.
Coastal's basically had 2 big plays on offense. They had the 76-yarder early in the ball game to Isaiah Kelly, the tight end. And then they had the Grayson McCall run for the touchdown the last drive. But everything else, give credit to this App State defense. They're playing lights-out football, especially against a rushing attack like the Chanticleers that comes in. Goodness, they're averaging 203 yards per game on the ground, 238 through the air, 37 points a game. They just got 15 so far.
1st and 10 from the 45 of Coastal Carolina. Grayson McCall, he's been deadly on his feet at times today. He's only going to get a couple here. And I guess that's what we kind of would expect from a veteran Appalachian State defense, Dustin. You played defensively, and you know how much having upperclassmen helps. 10 of their 11 starters are either seniors or juniors.
And give a lot of credit to defensive coordinator Dale Jones, too. He has done a terrific job with these guys. They got 2 of the top corners in the country. They've got a great front 4. They are a complete defense.
Dale Jones, the 4th defensive coordinator in 4 years, but the same stout defense. And it's going to be 3rd down and fairly long for Coastal, as that was intended on the outside for Cameron Brown.
You know, App State earlier this season, they missed 21 days with some COVID issues, right? They come back on a Thursday night primetime game against Arkansas State. Defensively, they missed 0 tackles. After 21 days of not playing a game, just speaks to the way this defense is led by seniors and Dale Jones, their defensive coordinator.
They need to get inside of the 45-yard line of Appalachian State to keep this drive alive. 4 receivers set. Marable in the backfield. McCall, again forced out of the pocket, throws on the run, and that will keep the drive alive. Goes to Isaiah Likely, who is still out there running around on that ankle. Again, first play of the day. He got a 75-yard touchdown, and they're still using him here in the 3rd quarter.
Watch right here, number 7. That is the linebacker, Trey Cobb. They're now using Trey Cobb as a spy on Grayson McCall. And in a situation like that, typically McCall will step up and take off. But in that play right there, he saw Cobb spying him and delivered the football down the field. Well done by Grayson McCall.
Isaiah Likely, 118 yards receiving today on just 3 catches. 1st down. McCall down the sideline. Again, Gene Charles in coverage. There comes a flag late.
Clay, Gene Charles is in perfect position. This is very uncharacteristic of him because as he's running down the field in perfect position, he's grabbing the jersey. You got to let that go. And then he reaches early. When he swipes that hand down before the ball's there, that's pass interference.
It's really a mistake he didn't need to make.
No. And what's amazing there is that's a
Pass
tight end
interference,
that
defense.
he's matched up with.
Number 8. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Boy, that's a killer 15-yard penalty against Shamar Jean-Charles, a guy who has probably played himself into the draft.
There's no doubt he's played extremely well this season, leads the country. And passes broken up. And again, he's matched up there with the tight end, Isaiah Kelly, 6'4", 245. That's a mismatch size-wise. But in terms of speed, just run with the guy. Run down the field, use the sideline. I just think he got away from his technique a little bit right there.
Coastal Carolina trying to capitalize, play fake. Here's McCall going to the end zone, and that was a bad pass.
And Jolly was all over him.
The other cornerback that mirrors Jean-Charles, Sean Jolly, the All-American in coverage.
His eyes right on his target the whole play, but look at the perfect coverage. When you see a corner stride for stride with a wide receiver and then he turns his head around at the perfect time, that's what you coach up. Excellent. Two of the top corners. In fact, Pro Football Focus rated them as the top tandem in the country.
Marable finds a seam up the middle. We have not seen a lot of C.J. Marable. A 1,000-yard rusher last year. He's been limited today. That's a first down to the 12-yard line of Appalachian State.
Well, this game just kind of going back and forth. Doesn't it feel like the momentum for both teams just shifts a little bit App State, a little bit Coastal. Right now, Coastal in a great position here, mid-third quarter.
And it's their best drive of the day so far.
Good point, partner.
First down, late pitch, McCall. And Marable is twisted down by Taylor. A loss of 7 on the play.
29, Brendan Harrington's going to come right in there on a corner blitz, nickel blitz, I should say, and he's going to affect the pitch. Going to come off the right side or left side, inside, right there. He's got to pitch the ball now. And guess who? Number 9, Demetrius Taylor with a tackle for loss.
Senior out of Miami with a big play to make this one second down and 17. Marable to the right of Grayson McCall. The redshirt freshman takes the snap, fakes the run, lobs it up to Marable. Touchdown. Boy, that was a nifty play. Sold the fake and lobs it into the hands of his running back, who was wide open.
This is so rare, Clay, for DeMarco Jackson to not play his key. He's staring in the backfield. He's got man-to-man coverage against Marable out of the backfield, and he gets caught.
And so Coastal, who has missed a PAT today, they have missed on a 2-point conversion attempt, will try again for 2. McCall wants to throw it. Throws to the corner, and it's out of the reach of Hiley, the receiver. But Coastal Carolina gets back in front. It's a 19-yard pass to cap a 10-play, 65-yard drive.
When you don't play your keys, bad things happen. That happened to DeMarco Jackson right there.
Tonight, UFC 255, a couple of flyweight titles on the line in Las Vegas. Figueiredo defending his against Perez. Shevchenko against Maia. The prelims start at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/pay-per-view. Clay Matvick, Dustin Fox, Marty Smith back here in Conway, South Carolina. Big one in the Sun Belt, especially the Sun Belt East. This is essentially a de facto championship game in the division. Let's go down to Marty Smith.
Gentlemen, you know how much I love great hair, and there's nobody in college football that has better hair than Teddy Gallagher, the inside linebacker for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Well, a few months ago, I named his mullet the Chanticleer Chandelier, and the school fell in love with this. I originally called it the Myrtle Beach Masterpiece, but Chanticleer Chanticleer. is much better. Okay, so I talked to Teddy before the game, and he wanted to make sure that I was part of the family. So he gave me my own mullet. I feel like I look like the Tiger King. It's very unfortunate. I feel like I'm going to head down to Doc Antle's Tiger joint down the street.
The crowd loves you for it, and they certainly love that defensive stop right there. But the fans have been waiting for you to put that hat back on since about an hour before pregame.
I can't wait for you guys to see the interview. Watch Marty McGee Wednesday night, because the interview I did with Teddy this morning was hilarious. He goes, man, he said, he had a little run-in with the local Great Clips. He was very distraught, but he said the mullet rose like the phoenix. It is back. And then he said, in my quantum physics rocket class here at the Harvard of the South, I learned that lightning bolts are power and energy.
Thomas Hennigan with the catch. The ball comes out, but they're going to say Hennigan was down. And that energy right now, Dustin and Marty, it's firmly with Coastal Carolina.
I think Marty just gave the fans here in Conway a little bit of a boost there. Once they saw him on the scoreboard, they got a little bit pumped up. Let's go back to this throw to Hennigan. Is he down? Yes, he is. Quarterback takes a shot here. Zach Thomas off the edge. That's Teron Jackson, number 9.
So back to the mullet real quick. Because lightning bolts are power and energy, Teddy had one of the quarterbacks shave a lightning bolt in the side of his head too. So he's got a whole cornucopia of bad decisions going on top of his head today here in Conway. But he's an awesome personality and a really, really good football player. You know, what a great kid.
And he was shaken up early in this game, Marty, and it's so good that he has been able to come back on the field, make an impact. And right now, Coastal Carolina leads it here late in the third quarter.
I was just hoping Teddy get back in the ball game because I wanted to see Marty put the hat on during the broadcast. Fantastic stuff, Marty.
First down and 10 for the App State offense. Thomas wants it all with Christian Wells, and it kind of faded on him. And I don't know if the sun played a factor in that as Wells turned his shoulder, and that sun was coming right down into his face mask. Incomplete.
Yeah, I think the sun for sure factored in, but I think Strong does a good job there at the end of the play, playing the football, not playing the wide receiver, knocks it out. I love the fact they're taking shots, though, Clay. You have to keep a defense honest when you're running the football so effectively, and it's really opening things, I think, in the run game.
On second down, nowhere to go for Cameron Peoples, and we haven't been able to say that much today. C.J. Brewer with another stop.
Silas Kelly ends up finishing off the tackle, but Brewer starts it first. Watch Brewer. That's 52 in the hole. Gets him down. And I think there was a little maybe extracurricular activity at the end with Silas Kelly. So huge third down coming up here for App State.
Mountaineers are 6 of 10 on third down today.
You got your 2 young freshmen at the bottom of the screen.
Thomas pumps, throws, and it is intercepted. Picked off at the 35-yard line. And it is DeJordan Strong, their best cover corner. His 4th interception of the year.
I don't know if there was a mix-up here on the outside or what, but it appeared for a moment that the wide receiver kind of stopped on his route a little bit, and Strong doesn't. And Zach Thomas just throws it up thinking his wide receiver is going to be there. And the wide receiver ended up being Jordan Strong.
The defense is under further review.
I'm going to make sure that Strong actually corralled it.
And I don't know if he went out of bounds too, because he was in defense with the wide receiver down the field. You can't see from that angle. He was out of bounds, and he comes back in. Did he establish himself back in?
Well, defensive player I always thought could. It's the offensive player that I think that's an issue with. But I think what they're looking at is, did he have the catch? Did he have the interception, Dustin?
I don't think he did, by the way. And I think you're right. I think that football may have leaked out a little bit at the end. The question is there enough evidence to say that the ball hit the ground?
Well, it'll be the 6th interception thrown by Zach Thomas this year, and it'll continue to keep the momentum swelling on the Coastal Carolina sideline if it is indeed an interception for Strong, and I think it's going to be.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed of an interception. The ball will be placed at the 36-yard line.
You hear the crowd. The momentum has shifted to the shots here in Conway.
The secondary for Coastal Carolina, Dustin, has really improved this year, and getting to Jordan Strong out of JUCO College was a big addition.
Sideline pumped up. What a play. Remember, Jordan Strong was just beat for a touchdown earlier in this quarter. To come back like that and redeem himself was just tremendous.
3:29 to go in the third. Coastal Carolina with the lead and the ball from their own 36-yard line. Grayson McCall. Handoff.
Reese White.
And that is Reese White, the sophomore out of Sandy Springs, Georgia, carrying ahead for a few.
Clay, I got a feeling this game's going to come down to the final drive of the ball game. It's got the makings of a good one. You know, Marty said this earlier. It feels like a conference championship game, doesn't it? It's got that feel to it.
It'll essentially decide the division, the Eastern Division in this conference. Spinning is Reese White trying to get away. Can't. That's going to be a loss of one on the play. Well, since Coastal Carolina beat Kansas on the road week 1 and beat Kansas for the 2nd straight year, you know, it's been a whirlwind for this Chanticleers program. Every week it continues to pick up steam, building up to this moment against Appalachian State.
They always say that the Sun Belt runs through Boone, and until otherwise it does. And that's why this game is so big for them. They're 7-0. They've got all the momentum. College Game Day's talking about them. They got mullets, and they got one of the best mascots in all of college football.
McCall on 3rd down. Over the middle looking for Likely. It's tipped and incomplete. No penalty flags. DeMarco Jackson, a middle linebacker who does a really good job getting back in coverage, broke it up. It's 4th down.
When I asked Dale Jones last night, I said, you know, what is so special about DeMarco Jackson? He says he can cover any wide receiver, slot, or outside. He can even cover the tight ends down the middle like that. Isaiah Likely, look at him turn his hips. Right there, flip it around. It's a speed turn, and he goes up there, nearly intercepts it. What an athlete DeMarco Jackson is.
Sean Clark says he practices so hard, the games are just easy for him. Gives it 100% effort every day in practice. This one is dumped inside the 10. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. With 1:54 to go here in the third. Charles Overson, the punter for Coastal Carolina, hasn't been used a lot this year. Xavier Sabach, the punter for Appalachian State. I mean, as a senior, his leg is as fresh as anybody's in the country. These punters don't get used a lot because these offenses are so good.
Punts are optional these days in college football.
Here's today's Liv Moss moment, brought to us by Taco Bell.
Talk about some big plays. We just saw it. To Jordan Strong. Comes up with an interception.
Now let's see if Zach Thomas can put that away. He hands off to Nate Noel, who goes to the left side and tracks out of bounds after a pickup of about 4. Thomas is one of those guys, he can sweep it under the rug pretty quick.
And think about this. It really wasn't that bad. You got the football right back. It didn't cost you points. So now you get your offense back out here on the field. The one thing I would say is, if I'm App State, I don't get conservative in this final 16 minutes or so. I continue to take those shots down the field.
Noel again. Good run. Spinning away to the 34-yard line. Tackle made by Brewer. First down, Appalachian State.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way Peoples has been running in this game, it's nice to have a little bit of a relief from Nate Noel, the young freshman running back, 5'10", $175 from Miami. who comes in there and gives him a nice little bit of a spell. Here's that formation. They put that tight end in the backfield, and they can run this triple option set out of this where they can pass it too.
Noel again. That's going to be a minimal gain. Appalachian State 2-1 on the road this year. Their only loss came at Marshall. That was back in September. Marshall, of course, 7-0, sharing the number 15 ranking with Coastal.
Watch the center right here. Going to get a push all the way down the field.
Final 20 seconds of the quarter as they shift Pearson over to the right side. Play fake to Noel, rolling out, thrown across his body. Thomas right on the screws to the 50-yard line, and Malik Williams. That was a pretty play.
Beautiful throw, really, by Zach Thomas right on the sideline. And again, I love how they're taking the shots. You're keeping this defense honest. You kind of wore them out a little bit in the first half. And really, Coastal Carolina has shown really no ability to kind of stay with these wide receivers down the field.
Well, we have played 3 quarters on the teal turf, and Coastal Carolina is giving the defending champs all they want. Number 15 Coastal with a 1-point lead heading to the 4th. You get the feeling, like he said, Dusty, this is going to be decided late. It's going to be good. Ready to start the 4th quarter here in Conway. That guy's got a hole in his overalls somewhere because he made a mask out of those overalls. Yeah, show it off, guys. 21-20, Coastal Carolina leading with 15 minutes to go. Zach Thomas and the Mountaineers have it. First down and 10 at the midfield line. They're going to dump it off to Noel, the running back. He's going to cut it back up the middle. Spinning away from tacklers, finally wrapped up inside the 45-yard line of Coastal. That was an excellent catch and run by Nate Noel, the true freshman.
This was designed to go outside. They've got a convoy of blockers in front of him here up the sideline, but instead he cuts it all the way back, uses his speed and burst to beat the defenders inside and nearly gets the first down.
Coastal Carolina, number 15 in the country. They got one of the hottest coaches in the country, Jamie Chadwell. Everybody talking about him for the next job. He's concerned about this job and beating App State. That's going to be a first down for Noel. He gets to the 31.
Watch the right guard. That's 51, Bear Hunter. Watch the push, the kick-out block right there. Just allows Noel to get up in the hole for a big run.
Got an injury timeout. It's one of the Chanticleers down in the field. And we got a moment here. Let's go to the studio and an update with Matt.
Guys, you got a little fight coming out of Indiana. They were getting blown out until Michael Penix Jr. Watch the effort by Ty Freifogel on the catch. Gets both feet in bounds. Right now, 35-21. Indiana with a little life.
That's probably the best quarterback-receiver combo that nobody knows about in the Big Ten. Maybe the country.
It's impressive. It's unbelievable.
Indiana, quite a story. As you see Jordan Morris, the cornerback, sophomore out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, making his way to the sideline with no help, and that's good to see. So App State not ranked this week. They did get votes. You can see Coastal Carolina in 6 games against App State has not started a 4th quarter with a lead. They are today. This has been quite a run for Coastal Carolina, trying to pay it off with a win here today, but App State is driving. Cameron Peoples had a great first half, pretty quiet here in the second half. And he's tackled by a host of Chanticleers. Again, Brewer in on the stop.
Boy, Brewer gets in there immediately, and then I think that Bear Hunter, the right guard, gets away with a little bit of hold on Brewer. It doesn't matter. Brewer still tracks down the ball carrier. This guy's, boy, he's fun to watch.
And what a great name. Maybe one of the best in college football. Bear Hunter.
That's on the all football name team. Your name Bear Hunter. You got to be a football guy.
His dad, John, is an excellent running backs coach at Wake Forest. There's Hennigan with the catch. Right along the sideline, brings it in at around the 25, and it'll be third down.
And that's pretty much all Hennigan can do for you right now. He's got that hamstring, and you see him even just wincing on a route like that. He can't run down the field. It's all either hitches, slants, or just quick little outs. And right there, of course, he gets close to the first down, but a big, huge 3rd and 3 coming up here in this ball game. And the App State offense.
And this, Dustin, is actually a situation you could see Hennigan again. He's an excellent third down receiver for them.
This power formation. Cam Peoples back in the game. I just think you rely on the offensive line. You get a push and give it to Peoples. They're going to call timeout.
Timeout. Appalachian State. This is a 30-second timeout.
Such a good third down team this year. 54%, best in the Sun Belt, 8th best in the country. And this is the biggest third down of the game up to now.
3rd and 3? I think you're inside field goal range at this point, but it's not a gimme.
Well, Staten has hit from 44 and 36 today. He's 2 for 2. Very capable kicker. But the way this game is going, you settle for too many field goals and you just get the feeling it's going to get you beat.
Well, and remember, Coastal, early in the ball game, missed a PAT. And so they've kind of been chasing that point for a long time. That's why it's a one-point game. It's not 3 touchdowns for Coastal. Coastal got a long field goal in there and just chased on their other touchdowns. So you got a one-point game. I still think you would kick the field goal, but you're not thinking that at all right now. You're thinking push this offensive line, give it to Cam Peoples, and grind ahead.
It is Peoples, and Coastal felt that was coming right from the outset. And Brewer gets there first again. 4th down.
This defensive front is really stepping up here in the second half. 52 Brewer right there. Fights off what looks like almost a double team and makes the play in the backfield. He's pumped up. That's a big stop for the Shants.
Chandler Staten trying to make it a hat trick. He's setting up from 45. That would be his longest of the day. Looking good. And he got it. Chandler Staten puts Appalachian State back in front by 2.
And back and forth we go in the Sun Belt here in Conway.
His hardest working player, brought to us by Duluth Trading Company. It's Cameron Peoples, 27 carries, 178 yards and a touchdown. Both of those are career highs.
Coach Sean Clark at halftime said he's running possessed in this game, and I think that's a compliment because he is running at a different level than he has ran all season long. What a monster performance by Cameron Peoples.
Back and forth. What a game this has been in the Sun Belt East. Trying to get out of a tackle is Shamari Jones on this kick return, still on his feet, and he'll fall ahead the 18-yard line. So now it's Grayson McCall and the Chanticleer's turn on offense. Down a couple. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, the quickest way to stop Indiana momentum. This. Sean Wade jumps the route, pick 6. Headed to the 4th quarter. Buckeyes up 42-21.
Alongside former Buckeye Dustin Fox, I'm Clay Matvick, Marty Smith down on the field. Your Buckeyes in a tough one.
Sean Wade, one of the best corners in the country with that interception to put them up 42-21.
Yeah, it's not coming easy for the Buckeyes, but they've got the momentum now. There's a nice play by the defensive front for Appalachian State. Jordan Earl, the nose tackle, made that stop. He got the start today because George Blackstock is out with a concussion.
Well, you talked about Grayson McCall on this drive, and certainly in the second half, he's had to put this team on his back. Get a look at the defensive stand right there by App State. I just think this game's going to come down to which quarterback makes the last play. Both Grayson McCall and Zach Thomas, two of the best in this conference. And we got a tight ball game for what might be the Sun Belt Championship.
Big hole. Marable finds the sideline, gets to midfield. Had one man to beat, Gene Charles, and he is able to catch up and push Marable out.
Gene Charles just saves a touchdown by running this thing down. Watch this cutback by Marable right there. Wide open, and the angle by Smith is not good. Smith has a bad angle, can't get him on the ground, and he's out the gate for a big one.
We're going to mark him out back at the 36-yard line. This is the guy you said had to get touches in the second half, and he certainly has. On first down. The call is complete. And that's one of the few touches today for Sam Denmark, the senior receiver. Picks up 8 on that catch, 2nd and 2.
Well, you've been saying it to me on the air and off the air. The field goals by App State, would it come back to bite them? Not that you're upset you're getting points, but the fact that you're not getting touchdowns when you're getting near the red area. And they've had 3 field goals down there. They've got the lead, but again, it's 2 points. Coastal gets a touchdown here. It's going to be really interesting and dicey down the stretch.
Play fake. McCall going toward the corner, and he's got a receiver caught. Out at the 6-yard line, that is Javon Hiley, their go-to receiver the last couple of years.
The pump fake, Clay. It throws off the defense, and Hiley finally shows up big in this game. Was really kind of nowhere to be found in the first half. That's their top target on the outside at 5 catches last week for 100 yards.
Nearly drew App State offside with that clap. First down and goal to go. Marable in the backfield, and the pistol behind McCall.
This is where McCall can be dangerous with his legs.
And he heard you. Ball comes out. Did he cross the plane? I do not see a touchdown signal, but I see an App State recovery in the end zone.
The ruling on the field is a fumble going into the end zone and recovered by the defense.
Wow. I had a feeling. I had a feeling McCall was going to call his own number, but clearly it's a fumble. But the question is it a fumble before he crosses the goal line? This will definitely be looked at.
The previous play is under further review.
Watch right here. It's the ball. I think he's short. If he keeps the football out, Clay, and extends it, it goes over the goal line. He kind of pulls it back in. Watch how he pulls it back in. This will be the best look. Right here, does he... Boy, I just don't know if you can tell if he's across the line.
Yeah, and they did not raise their hands, the officials, looking right down the line to show touchdown. They said it was a fumble. The ruling on the field was recovered by App State. That would make it a touchback. No touchdown for McCall, and it's going to take a lot to overturn this. I just don't see the video evidence to overturn it. I think it's out before the goal line.
Well, you made the good point. It was called a fumble on the field. They've got to have something definitive to overturn that. So close. And this game has been, you mentioned a game of inches. You know, the first drive of the game, Cameron Peoples is short of the goal line, looked like a fumble. They overturned that call. I mean, There's been some big reviews in this ball game.
Grayson McCall has been so good as a running quarterback when needed to be this year. He had that 62-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. Almost got in here, but it looks like a fumble. And it looks like it's going to be Appalachian State football. It looks like number 13, Caden Smith, the strong safety, kind of the quarterback of that App defense, got his hand on it to knock it loose. Here comes the call from Trennis Livingston.
After further review, the quarterback fumbled the ball before going into the end zone, recovered by the defense. Touchback, 1st and 10, Appalachian State.
I think that's the right call.
I don't think you had a look that could say definitively that he crossed the line, and you mentioned they called it on the field. A turnover. What a great stop by the Mountaineers. They bow up when it matters most, and Caden Smith, who comes up with that big play, had a bad play earlier in that drive, took a bad angle on the long touch, or not the long run, I should say, by Marable.
Caden Smith knocked it away. Nick Hampton recovered it. And if Appalachian State wins this football game today, it's going to be in large part because of the defense. Hennigan scoops it up before it hits the turf and makes the catch. And we'll get 8 on 1st down.
Yeah, it really hurts this offense that Hennigan can only be used in kind of the short to intermediate passing game. You see the hands right there. This is one of their top targets. He's a captain. Just had a tough hamstring injury. It's been chronic all season long. They're grinding through it, and certainly in a game like this, you better believe Hennigan's going to be out there.
They're going to hand off to Nate Noel. He'll track on the right side for a 1st down. And what is the approach for the offensive coordinator, Tony Peterson, here? Is it a more measured pace now?
Absolutely.
Because you've got the lead and you've got the football and you want to work some clock?
And I think because their offensive line is playing so well right now, Clay, they challenged them this week. You ride what got you here. The running game has been so effective in the ball game. You continue to ride peoples, and hopefully you can continue to burn a lot of clock.
There's a medical stoppage on the field.
But you don't want to be too conservative.
Did he say a medical stoppage? Apparently one of the players.
Yeah, I thought it was
issue.
I thought Gunter had an issue after the play.
Yeah, and here he comes toward the sideline. Now, if they lose Jeffrey Gunter here in crunch time, that's too bad for Coastal Carolina. He's been outstanding.
Well, the good news is, if there is a silver lining here, Olufemi is going to come in, and he's the backup bandit. And because Gunter's played so well this year, it's kind of brought his game up to the next level. That's number 41 is going to come back in the football game.
They want to throw. There's a penalty marker down. Thomas
It's a free play.
got it to Christian Wells. And he's out at the 36-yard line. He beat his man, Spillum. And it's a big 1st down.
We got 2 flags down here. I thought that there was an offsides call, but then there's another flag at about the 30-yard line.
There's 2 fouls on the play. Defense, offside, number 15. Holding on the offense, number 73. Those penalties offset. Replay, 1st down.
Feels like there have been a lot of penalties today. Not very many against Coastal. That's just the 2nd penalty against the Chanticleers here today. And they only average 3 per game. Jamie Chadwell's team, very disciplined. The best in the league in fewest penalties.
They don't beat themselves. That's the sign of a good football team. They don't turn the football over. You take a look at the hold right there. And they're lucky that there was an offsides penalty to negate the hold.
That's right. Offset. 1st down, Noel. Right into the teeth of that Chant's defense, and he's quickly wrapped up 2nd down.
So this is kind of that area now. 2nd and 9. I know you want to burn clock, but I would still continue to let Zach Thomas throw the football, or at least give him a run pass option.
Appalachian State, Sun Belt champs the last 4 years. They set a league record for wins last year with 13. They are 47-7 against conference opponents since joining the league in 2014. Thomas going to Wells again, and it's picked off. Spillum undercut that route, and it's an interception.
Just a bad throw by Zach Thomas. It's a bad decision. They've got a sail pattern, which means you've got 3 levels to throw to. You've got a tight end in the flat. You've got another short guy behind. He tries to hit the deep one. It's a bad throw and a great play by Spillum in the shots.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And in part by Duluth Trading Company. Tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen.
The Black Swarm defense with their second interception of Zach Thomas. Alex Spillum, his second INT of the year. And Thomas is dejected on that Appalachian State sideline. Coastal takes over at the 49-yard line of the Mountaineers. Marable goes in motion. They're going to run it up the middle. And Appalachian State's defense really needs a stop now as we go down to Marty.
Knocked the holy crap out of whoever's holding it. That, he said, is the Black Swarm.
The Black Swarm defense. They've been great all year, and that's a first down catch to the 33-yard line for Cameron Brown.
I think they're giving too much cushion on the outside, these corners. They're known for playing man coverage. They're giving you a soft zone right here on the outside. This is Jolly. And it's just an easy pitch and catch. I mean, he throws it out there, throws it for 7 yards, and he turns and runs for another few. I'm defensive coordinator Dale Jones of App State. I try to tighten up things a little bit. Obviously, they're going to be running the football here. But these are 2 of the best corners in the entire country.
First down, looking to throw. McCall sails it high. It's incomplete. Bring up second down. Biggest game of the year. This is arguably the biggest drive of the year for Coastal Carolina off that Appalachian State turnover.
And look, they're being aggressive. They're coming out here. They're throwing. They're down 2 points. If they run just a little bit of clock here, they could potentially put themselves in a position to win the game on this drive.
Cam Brown is going to line up the top of the screen. 2 receivers to the right. Marable in the backfield. Another play action pass. McCall almost threw an interception there. Jolly had his hands on it. Couldn't come up with the pick.
Boy, Jolly has himself a perfect opportunity to potentially seal this game, and that's a no-no. You see Grayson McCall's going to his right. He throws back to his left. You can't do that. Good play by Jolly being there, but you got to come up with that interception.
Coastal is 5 of 10 today on third down. They need something here. Otherwise, it's going to be a long field goal attempt for Biscardi.
See, look how much cushion these guys are given right here. Right to the sticks.
Option pitch late. Good decision. And it looks like they got the first down. Boy, McCall held on to that a long time before the release to White.
Well, as I pointed out, that cushion from the corners there, it still makes a long way for Jolly to go to have to come up here on the edge. Boy, I think right there, number 10, Tim Frizzell, needs to come after the quarterback immediately right there.
Again, Grayson McCall, he ran this offense in high school. He's got that pitch down.
Perfect.
He's like a surgeon.
I mean, that was a long pitch. Jeez.
2 receivers to the right.
Now I'd work a little clock.
On first down. They're going to throw it again. They get it to Likely.
What a tackle.
And he tried to shake loose. That was actually Hiley. And another great open field tackle by Caden Smith with 5 minutes exactly to play.
This could have been a touchdown. If Caden Smith doesn't come in here and make this tackle, look at this. Secure the tackle. A lot of guys don't do that. They don't wrap up. That's a really big play right there for Caden Smith.
Second down and 3. Elijah Dirasuba comes on defensively for App State. And McCall is noticing some defensive setups that he may want to check around. 4.5 to go. Inside handoff. cutting it up.
Gonna be short.
There's Reese White, and it'll be 3rd down. 3rd down and 1. Maybe a situation here where you bring in the big package. Yeah, Baden Pence at number 31, kind of used like a fullback. He steps onto the field. He's their short yardage and goal line guy.
It's interesting. They put Marable out wide in the slot. Their number 1 tailback's right here.
Big 3rd down. And now somebody wants to talk something over. It's going to be Coastal Carolina. They want to talk.
Coastal Carolina, this is a 30-second timeout. First timeout of the second half.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining, 3:43 to go. And as Jamie Chadwell, the play caller, thinks about it, we're going to step aside. Back in a moment. Tonight on ABC, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. We've got a good one coming down to the wire here in Conway, South Carolina. 23-21. Appalachian State leading a 3rd and 1 for the Chants. Marable's in the backfield behind Grayson McCall. He is not their power back. They fake the handoff. McCall is going to keep it, and he's got the 1st down. Boy, again, you've said it before, Dustin, the moxie of that kid, that's the guy they trust the most, and he's just a freshman.
It's that little RPO. I think that was just a design quarterback run. I don't think there was any chance that he was going to hand that football off. That's what he did on the last near touchdown before he fumbled. But right there, that's a big pickup on 3rd down.
First down and goal. They keep it on the ground, churning. Reese White. He'll get it to the 7. So Appalachian State, you know, their defense has been outstanding today. Really need a big play now.
And I think if you're Coastal, you want to use as much clock here as possible. Under 3 to go. Remember, App State, if they can hold them to a field goal attempt, all they'd need is a field goal to win the game.
Two and a half to go. McCall pitches. Marable trying to find some leverage on the outside, and that's going to be a penalty. Face mask penalty coming up on Brendan Harrington.
Boy, Harrington had a beat on this from the beginning and nearly gets Marable down, but somewhere along the lines here, watch at the end of this run. Oh yeah, that's right in front of the official. That's an easy call and a big one.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 29. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal.
Another look at it. See, kind of shoots his gun. He's in great position. If he can just wrap up Marable instead of going up high.
Timeout. Appalachian State. This is the 30-second timeout.
Great play.
2nd timeout of the second half.
And it's not so much the yardage that hurts Appalachian State there either. It's the fact that it goes to a 1st down play. Back in a moment after this timeout. Tuesday at 7 Eastern, the exclusive reveal of the College Football Playoff Top 25 rankings. The highest ranked team in Sunbelt history, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, number 15 in the nation. With a win here today, there's a chance they move up. 7 Eastern Tuesday night. Here it is. 1st down, goal to go inside the 5. Out of the timeout, McCall hands off. Touchdown. Chanticleers. Shamari Jones.
And Clay, I think you definitely have to go for 2 here if you're Coastal. I don't think there's any question about it. What an effort.
It was actually Reese White who spun himself into the end zone to put Coastal Carolina up by 4 for the moment. And they're looking to the sideline, and they are setting up, it appears, for a 2-point conversion.
part of me thinks it's not the end of, or the worst thing in the world for him to score that soon, because App only has one timeout left. Now they've got 2 minutes, 24 seconds to go get a touchdown.
McCall looking for two. Going to take it himself. He's not going to get there. Hampton with the tackle with 2:24 to go. Let's go to the studio and Matt.
Guys, it was just 42-21 Ohio State minutes ago until Michael Penix Jr. finds Ty Freifogel, who is having a monster day, and all of a sudden, 42-35, Buckeyes up just 7. And I want someone to attack today with relentless energy and passion like a strength coach in college football. Cincinnati Bearcats, UCF coming up when you guys go final.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot. This has been a lot of fun, and it's not over yet.
And stressful for both Coastal Carolina fans who are here. Nice crowd, about 5,500 socially distanced, and all the fans at home watching, and certainly the App State fans in Boone. Listen, the good news is for App State, there's plenty of time. Okay, 2:24 to go. You've got Zach Thomas, a great quarterback who's shown poise, 29-4 as a starter. And think about this play. They went 51 seconds to end the first half and got a touchdown. So they're no strangers to these situations.
Masio Biscardi to kick it off. This is a returnable kick. Jones and Williams collide. Williams scoops it up. He's hemmed in. Goes to the wide side of the field and gets it close to the 20-yard line. That was a near disaster for App State. Clay Matvick, Dustin Fox, Marty Smith here in Conway, South Carolina. This is a de facto division championship game in the Sun Belt East. App State undefeated in league play. Coastal Carolina undefeated in league play and undefeated overall. Can the four-time league champs march down the field? Thomas on first down. Tucks and runs. Coming to the sideline. He's going to take a punishing hit at the 21.
I thought he could have gained more yards if he gets upfield. Instead, he runs towards the sideline, and it just allows the defenders from Coastal to track him down. Look, right there, just get upfield.
Now this play is whistled down. That was McConzo who laid that hit on Thomas. Most of the penalties today have been against App State, not Coastal Carolina. There's Jamie Chadwell, Chanticleer's head coach. So much talk surrounding him. His counterpart today, Sean Clark. Two young, up-and-coming head coaches. Not exactly sure what they're talking about here, Dustin.
I'm not either. It's a pretty big discussion.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
A lot of detail in that conversation, obviously, for just a false start.
I'm going to say it's your left tackle, 73, right here. Does he move? I don't know that I saw much there.
That's the 8th penalty, 50 yards against Appalachian State today. Second down and 12. Thomas steps up to the sideline and he overshoots Christian Horn. Thomas has been high a few times today.
He has been.
And the last couple of weeks he has not been at his best.
Steps up in the pocket and just kind of airmails this one. And now a huge 3rd and 12 coming up here. Obviously, it's 4-down territory. You've only got one timeout left. You don't have to get all 12 yards on this play.
They rush 3. Thomas, down he goes at the 7. C.J. Brewer with arguably the biggest play of the game up to now.
Well, you might as well take your timeout now.
Timeout. Appalachian State. This is the third and final timeout. 30 seconds.
Great atmosphere now. And Appalachian State is out of timeouts.
You'll see the sack come in here. A lot of pressure.
Set the game clock to 1:34. Thank you.
Guess who again, Brewer? He's pumped up. The fifth-year senior. Having himself a monster day. Now, if you're Sean Clark, I don't know that you have many 4th and 22 plays you can draw up here, but this is the ballgame. If you don't get this, Coastal Carolina is going to take 3 knees and the game's over.
There you see Brewer getting a drink. 14 tackles for Brewer today. A sack and a half. He's been outstanding. And a 4th and 22 coming up for this offense.
What a spin move by Brewer.
Coastal Carolina knew how tough this test would be today against Appalachian State. It's coming down to this 4th and 22 perhaps. Intercepted. Thomas is picked off for the 3rd time today. Strong takes it all the way back for a touchdown. And that's the haymaker. That's the 2nd interception today for Strong. The 3rd time the Shants have picked off Thomas. And to Jordan Strong, lost in a sea of black and teal, celebrates on the sideline. It's a 10-point game.
Clay, I can't wait to see what they do post-game in the locker room. I'm sure they got something special for this one. Wow. What a play. Probably should have gone down. Decides to take it all the way back to the house for the pick 6.
5th interception this year for Strong, 2nd of the day.
Not a great day for Zach Thomas.
And Thomas is dejected. It has been a bad couple of weeks for that man. Arguably, I don't think there's much argument. The best quarterback in this league the last few years.
Well, listen, like we said all day, the Sun Belt goes through a boom.
Timeout. Coastal Carolina. This is a 30-second timeout. 2nd timeout of the 2nd half.
And maybe it starts going through Conway.
Time to take a look at our more driven moment brought to us by Goodyear. Moments ago, the Jordan Strong in the secondary. The JUCO transfer with his 2nd INT, and he takes it all the way back to the house to apparently put this game away.
Remember, he was beaten early in this game for a touchdown. Strong was, and what a way to finish it off. And you have to feel for a guy like Zach Thomas, who didn't have a great game last week. He gets injured late in the ball game. They still get the victory, and you still have everything in front of you coming here to Conway, basically for a potential Sun Belt championship, and just didn't make the throws.
The lead is 11. 34-23, a minute 20 to go, and Zach Thomas has got to put his helmet back on. Try and get back out there and hope for a miracle. Coastal Carolina has outscored its opponents in the 4th quarter this year, 92-37. Not bad at starting games either, but certainly good at closing them out.
No doubt about it. And
This is a team that Dustin was picked to finish last in the Sun Belt. And their rankings have gone up since October 10th, straight up. And we'll see what happens when these first college football playoff rankings come out.
Hey, this team has been so impressive all year, but the question was, how good really are they? This was the biggest test of the year with App State coming here.
Never beaten
They knew
App State.
Never beaten them. 0-6 against the Mountaineers. What a way to finish it off. Because listen, the first half was not good for Coastal Carolina.
Zach Thomas and the offense will come back out and start from the 34-yard line. Just a minute 12 to go. Appalachian State has no timeouts remaining.
Well, we saw Western Michigan come back from 10 down in under a minute.
Oh, it can be done.
In Maction the other night against Toledo.
Zach Thomas, one of the great leaders in college football, and just hasn't been his day. That pass is high. Christian Horn had to climb the ladder. When he's missed high today.
I don't know what it is. It must be a footwork issue with him, because everything, you mentioned it, it's just a little bit too high. He's had a couple of nice deep balls, but all the intermediate stuff, 15 to 20 yards, it's all been high.
Appalachian State will host Troy next week. They host West Division champ Louisiana December 4th in a tough trip to play Georgia Southern in the regular season finale. I guess they're still not out of this East race as Deshaun Davis takes it out. I mean, there's opportunities for wins. They're going to have to hope that Coastal would get beat at Texas State next week. But the way this team is playing right now, that seems unlikely. And that's the only Sun Belt regular season game left for Coastal Carolina.
Clay, the energy from the sideline is palpable here in the booth.
Thomas,
again,
high, incomplete. He had pressure, and his fourth down with 58 seconds to go.
And the shots are starting to feel it. Closer and closer to that perfect season. And a matchup, boy, at the end of the year.
I forgot to mention that Troy game for Coastal Carolina. So they actually have 2 regular season games remaining. 4th down and 4.
Imagine how Conway's going to be rocking for that Liberty game.
Oh, man. That is incomplete.
Incomplete pass out of bounds.
That does it.
The ball goes over the down.
It's going to over to Coastal Carolina with 52 seconds left. Jamie Chadwell already in the rumor mill. And imagine the rumors are going to pick up even more. Don't forget Cincinnati and UCF, another good one coming up in the group of 5 when we're done here. Jamie Chadwell, he's a lot of fun. Been so much fun to talk to. He's having fun with everything, including the rumors, joking around about it. We saw his tweet this week. He wants his players to enjoy this, and indeed they are.
Well, they should, and I loved his attitude when we talked with him during the week. He says, if you're not having fun, what are we doing? Football's supposed to be fun. That's why they do all the wrestling stuff, and they have the mullets and the jokes and the games, and that engages the players. You can see it. This is something special here.
And Appalachian State is going to lose to Coastal Carolina for the first time. They're going to go to 6-2 on the year. And the chances of them winning a 5th straight Sun Belt title are very slim right now as Grayson McCall and the Chanticleers celebrate here in Conway, South Carolina. They go to 8-0, 6-0 in the Sun Belt.
What a performance by the Chanticleers in the second half. Grayson McCall, very impressive.
For Dustin Fox and Marty Smith, I'm Clay Matvick. 34-23 the final. The shots celebrate. From Conway, we go to Orlando.
Gabriel's